Then we have Beall, and let me tell you, this guy is fucking amazing. His energy and everything about him, it kind of just, you just want to take it. You know, it's just crazy. Like, he has everything going on, and I'm just so proud of him. Like, he just started. Basically, he has to rebrand himself because, of course, he got like hacked, but that's, he saw this as an opportunity to even grow higher and use that to like put the content that he always wished. So, here we have him. Thank you so much.
No
You're
problem.
amazing.
Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it. I'll be watching you and what you be posting too. From watching you, like, before I even met you, like, in person, I already knew what aura I was going to get.
Yeah.
And it's a great aura. The positivity, the motivation, I see it.
Thank you.
It's radiant, like, I see it. No doubt.
I mean, I just want to help change, people and stuff. So I'm glad that at least I impacted you.
Right.
So, I mean, so if we go in depth with your photography, like, how is that for you? Because I know you've been doing that for a few, for years. How was it starting? Like, were you scared to, like, take that leap? And how do you feel now that you got to this point where, people look at your work and they say, wow, he really did that,
Well, I felt... Growing up, I've always been sort of like a memory person. And then what was very ironic, when I was younger, I actually got a camera for Christmas. I didn't really usually play with it much, but I was just like, a camera. Like, that's weird, because my godmom, she was like, here's a camera. And I was like, a camera?
Right.
So, I was playing with it a little bit, and I was like, oh, this is actually pretty cool. Yeah. Then I remember back in middle school, I was helping one of my buddies who lived around the corner. He actually had a camera, and he wanted me to take pictures of him. And I was like, yo, these actually looking pretty good. Started shooting videos for him. And it was just some minor stuff, and I was like, wow, I actually kind of like this. And then I was like, man. Then my stepdad at the time, he was like, you actually really got a gift for this.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
So eventually... college came, but before college, I was doing senior portraits for people in high school, but it wasn't really nothing serious. I didn't even intend on making a business out of it.
Yeah.
So freshman year came, then I was like, I'm gonna start taking pictures again. Started taking pictures again. People started saying they liked my work, and that was sort of throughout the era when I was really making my YouTube channel and everything. So over that summer, I was on my camera every single day. Literally recording all the time. My YouTube grew tremendously. I grew from 0 subscribers to 20 plus K, 26K I think. And ever since then, I've just fell in love with the camera, and at the beginning of 2020, I decided I was gonna launch my business, and now I'm here.
Yeah, I mean, I was looking at his website looks really good too. Like, he has some of his work. And I didn't know this before, but like, he's really good at like taking wedding photographies. Like, I mean, this is kind of like one of his fields and stuff. So I don't know, I was very impressed. Like, when I tell you that, I had a perception of who he was, but when I went in depth, and I was like, this man is freaking amazing. Like, he really has it all. Like, in the sense of like, he put that work and then he expanded to a point that his name represents that. His work ethic is amazing too. Like, from what I saw, it just, I don't know, I was very impressed. And then your YouTube channel, I was like, how? Because I know I saw your YouTube channel a while back, because actually, I don't know if you remember this, but I found you on freaking Tinder, and then it was because you were looking for like people to like do, and I was like, I really like this guy, because he wasn't there like trying to get anything else but like to
about business.
That's how we shoot me. I was like, wow, and then that's how I found out. But I was like, okay, and then I saw your videos, and so I was like, this is cool. Like, you really are like about yourself, because like, you took every opportunity and used it to your advantage, instead of like using it as like you did like, what, let's go, like, this could be something that can spend.
It's really about picking up and going. Even before, I kind of learned this mindset, not only just by myself, but growing up. Before even photography, my first passion was football, actually. I've never even touched on that subject with you, but I actually used to be a great football player. I was actually ranked in high school. It was pretty good. It was even before I actually came to Georgia State University. Unfortunately, when I came to Georgia State, the football program kind of corrupted my football career. Really wasn't the best experience I got, or what I expected, or what they told me or promised me. But All in all, I mean, I'm here, and it led me to where I'm at right now, and I'm more than excited. You know?
That's good. Do you play like on your free time, football and stuff?
Honestly, I haven't touched a football in so long, but I have been, because you know how we have intramurals in college and stuff. I haven't want to play like flag football and stuff like that.
Gotcha.
I did actually try out for the football team my sophomore year. No, my junior. No, my sophomore year. Yeah, I tried out my sophomore year after everything happened, but I didn't even end up making the team.
Yeah.
So, but I still work out consistently now and everything since COVID starting to slow down. So
yeah, that's good. I mean, you were even telling me like you tried to stay, you know, healthy mind, healthy body, healthy soul, and like you kind of like focus on your eating as well, like which is key.
All that to me, even what you put in your body, you know, it all is going to funnel how you think and how you feel and how you maneuver throughout the day. That's why I'm just so heavy on what I eat and just what I do, because anything can just disrupt you. Like say for instance, you know, even with the music you listen to. I got a good friend, he listens to, I'm pretty sure you guys heard of the rapper called Young Boy, Never Broke Again, Be a Young Boy. He has this, he's this great, he's not a bad artist, don't get me wrong. He just has this specific sort of premise in his music. It's sort of like pain music, and he's consistently talking about how he's hurting, how he's in pain, which is okay. You know, that's how you make it, you know, that's what you do.
Yeah.
But at the same time, understanding that and knowing how to not trigger that within yourself is what's powerful about you, you know, because I can listen to music like that, but I won't react. My emotion's not going to react subconsciously, because consciously I'm knowing what I'm doing. Subconsciously I can feel the music, but I have control of that, so I don't allow myself to funnel myself in that mindset. So I'm always in a good mood. The music I listen to, I listen to rap, but I'm more so of an R&B guy, because I mean, like, you know, it's good music, and it's uplifting music. I can't listen to like degrading or sad music all day. I just can't. So everything is energy. Everything usually follows through and makes up who you are. It's everything that you come in contact with.
That's just crazy that you said, because I was talking about that the other day. I was like, I think we need to be more mindful of what we listen, because I know when I was depressed, I was listening to depressing music, and then that just kind of kept me going deeper into the hole. And then I couldn't understand that until, like, you know, I read about it. It was like everything you read, everything you see, everything impacts you. And that's it's kind of because our brain tries to reassure or like find something that goes along with what we already believe. It's like if you believe you're like stupid, then, you know, you might think, oh, like I can't do this because I'm stupid. But it's like, have you tried it? You know, have you like worked a little harder? Or you know, it's like also that's like what's it called? Emotional intelligence. And it's basically when you
emotional intelligence.
I was just reading about that the other day, and I was like, you know what, this is literally what I need to like see, because again, it's all about understanding that you can control even that, you know, in the sense of not control it itself, but control like the pretty much the income, you know, like not like the input, basically. Like if you do if you can prevent to getting yourself to that point by preventing yourself to listen to that or seeing environments, like, you know, being environments that kind of like emphasize on that. And it's like if you always talking about, like, if you're always surrounded by people that feel like they're failures, then eventually you're gonna get
that same energy. And that's why I always preaching, you know, protecting energy. I'm glad you brought up emotional intelligence, because that is actually one of my soft skills that I actually put on my resumes and everything, because I'm so big on emotional intelligence. I actually I knew what it was. I never knew it was a term until, you know, I crossed my fraternity, you know, shout out to Pi, you know. But yeah, I never even knew it until then. And emotional intelligence isn't just knowing what emotion is, it's knowing emotions around you, how people feel, how people talk, how you're going to react, how to be proactive and active with your emotions, you know. And a lot of people lose that side of mind. To me, it relates to not only your emotional health, but your mental health as well, you know. So with that, you have to understand kind of like what you was talking about, you know, you already knew that the fact that you understood that music was putting you in that sort of thing, that's emotional intelligence. That's what brought you through it, you know. And it's just the understanding is what really gets people going.
I'm sorry, I'm just gonna say real quick, because I'm just, just listen to him. I'm so excited. But he is launching a podcast about mental health and stuff, and he's gonna, be talking about that kind of stuff. So just living out there. We don't know the day yet. That's just, you gotta keep up with him.
Stay tuned.
Yeah,
Stay tuned.
and then he will let you know. But just letting you know, these podcasts are gonna be amazing. Like I'm telling, we're having a conversation, and I was like, wow. This is already great. Like I was like, why did I record this before? I was like, this is so amazing. Yeah. So.
I even touch on it a bit. Basically the premise of it, really our mission of it, is basically uplifting, young adults with mental health awareness. Having them aware, because our youth, not even just our adolescents, but the young adults, us in college and everything, all these sort of things, we undermine mental health so much, like even especially us minorities, and it's so bad to the point where we don't even know that we're actually degrading ourselves, and we don't even know it. We actually self-destructing ourselves, and we don't even know it, and I want to be able to give that message to young adults, to my people, to everybody's people, because everybody needs that help. Mental health is much more vital than even physical health. And if you don't even have the mental health, you might as well forget about the physical.
Because you need that to push it to do even more. I was telling him, that's the saying. It's like your mind, basically your mind, your body can do more than your mind thinks, sometimes, and that's why you have to basically train your mind to always push for more, because sometimes you believe, oh no, I can't do this, this is not I have to stop, and I have to give up, and this is where we go wrong. If you keep going a little bit more, then your tolerance for that is gonna increase, as you go. So it's it goes with everything, like pain and the consistency, determination. It's first, you're not gonna have the determination nor the discipline to keep going. But you have to, the days that you're not feel like it, you gotta push it. You gotta do it. Today I was okay, I'm gonna get at least a 30-minute workout. Because I had such a hectic schedule today, but I was like, you know what, I'm not gonna stop, because if I stop right now, then that means tomorrow I'm gonna lack a little, because it's every time you give that yourself that sheet, day or sheet chance, it's you literally already telling your brain you're not capable of doing that, and that's what you have to say. No, you know what, I got this, because I told myself. And it's the promise to yourself is the most important promise, because if you can keep a promise to yourself,
you can promise to anybody.
Exactly. So it's again, how you say, it's always starts with, it's a mindset. It's always within. When you have the power to be strong enough to overcome a lot of things, then it's you can help other people. Because also for me, I want to save the world basically, but my parents used to tell me you have to save yourself first. You have to be stable. You have to be able to be to overcome the little things that might seem right now it's too much. When you do that, then you can even help as many people as you can. So it's all about taking that as an opportunity to hey, I'm gonna do better. Now that I understand that, and I know that they're right, or I know that that's the truth, then I'm gonna go towards that. Because again, every little decision of hey, I'm gonna go, I don't care what happens, I'm gonna still go, then that should show you, telling your brain you know what, we got this.
Exactly.
Why do we think that we did it? And it's it's sincerely looking back at it sometimes, but sometimes it's empowering, because it's you know what, I'm my own inspiration. Because I was able to overcome this person that I was before to this person that I always wanted to be.
Exactly.
But now I saw the opportunity, and I took it, and I didn't let anything else take me make an excuse and be we have to prolong that. No, you made it happen right there and then.
Exactly. Like we was talking about earlier, you're in control of literally everything you do, and kind of like what you were saying just a minute ago, when you're working out and you said you was gonna at least work out for 30 minutes, that is so vital to me, because recently I've actually even noticed that, like I said, I used to play football, so I used to work out a lot. I still work out as well, but I've noticed when I say, okay, I'm going to get 3 reps. Usually when I say I'm going to get 3 reps, I'm going to get 3 reps, and usually I don't get more. So I had put myself in a mindset where on sometimes I don't even set a limit, because your mind is going to make you, stop at 3 reps, because I notice when I put a limit on things, especially when I'm doing anything physical, I usually start slowing down until I get to that goal. Right.
I mean, the brain is so smart. It's like, look, we're gonna just follow what you say, you know. So basically, we're getting there. It's like, you know, we're gonna stop. That's so funny because even today, like, I was like, I didn't count my reps either. I was, you know, I'm gonna do it because I was like, I need to build my arms. You know, that's what I was thinking to myself. So I was keep going, and I didn't count. I keep going, and then I just, you know, every time, like, I was like, it's kind of hurting, but you know what? You know, because like, you know your body, you know what pain, what soreness is on pain. You know
your limit.
Different. Yeah, exactly. So because deep down, we all know our limits. It's like, and that's when you have to take that and be like, you know what? Let me keep going, you know, like you said, like, no, yeah, I thought, because again, like, I came with that resistance, I was like, I don't really need to, like, have, like, okay, I'm gonna stop right here, you know, like, I'm just gonna stop until, like, I can't do this anymore. Yeah, I was okay. I was like, okay, let me kind of, like, you know, massage this right here.
A little massage, you know, a little soreness out, exactly.
Yeah, like, okay, gotta keep going,
Yeah, but working out definitely, helped me out recently. I know, throughout my time, I mean, the pandemic hasn't been easy for anybody, obviously. I mean, I went through a lot through the pandemic. I'll be 100% transparent. Pandemic dropped, you know, I was actually in Miami when the pandemic happened. Like, right at spring break. I left a week before our spring break let out. And then soon before the outbreak happened in Miami, we literally came back the day before. And things started happening, emotions started changing. I was dating a girl at the time, and then I found out she cheated on me. It was bad. And then, like, after that, it was just a lot of I was starting to cross for my fraternity. So it was just a lot of things that was just going on at the time. And then I had to go back home. Being at home, I wasn't really feeling home was home at the time, because at the time, me and my mother didn't really have the best relationship. You know, we're great now. I love my mom to death. But at the time, you know, me and my mom been having growing pains for like about almost a year of having a good relationship. Just because I'm just such a different individual. I grew up in a family where everybody's very conservative. I'm so liberal, you know. I'm always open into traveling. I love doing certain things and just getting outside the box. I'm a very adventurous person, and my family is not used to that. You know, so when tit for tat, when that happens, when I try to do something, it's always fire blowing that back at me, and it's just like, you know, it's my life, you know. So it had to take some time for me and my mom to really get in sync. But I mean, it happened. But the pandemic was very, very stressful. Not even just because that you got the Black Lives Matter movement. That was a mental torment. Like,
you were there taking pictures and everything.
So it was just like, it's just so much difference. But I have seen myself become more implemented into the political system recently. As I told you, I actually aspire to be a criminal defense attorney someday. You know, I just really want to help the people, and that's just my premise. You know, I just always have that goal. Usually, I even wake up every single day. I even start telling my roommate that, you know, you should just wake up every single day happy. You shouldn't wake up going to work and be like, man, I gotta go to work.
You
know, go to work. Be like, hey man, I'm finna go to work. I'm finna make this bread so I can fuel my passion, so I can do what I gotta do. I'm finna see some good people. I'm finna make some people happy today. That's what it should be about.
Because it's like, you made the decision to work there either. So it's like, you're complaining about this, but in reality, it's like, this is something that you put yourself in. Like, how are you torturing yourself when in reality you are the one that
put yourself in?
So, and again, like how you said, it's you're working, because you have to keep in mind that the reason why you're doing stuff is because you're sacrificing to do even something greater.
Exactly.
You know, because like, if you're not having that part-time job, then you're not gonna be able to have that full-time job doing what you love every single day. You know, because like, again, it also has to be like, it also comes to like understanding that the things that you do like right now also create the foundation for the future. If you can see this and take, you know what, there's a job that I don't like, but I'm doing it, you know, that you take that approach and you like say, and you say to yourself, you know what, I'm happy because I know deep down and in the future this is what's gonna come out of it. So that should be already like you know, biggest motivation is to like, you know, be optimistic, because at the same time, if you wake up every day like sad, it's like, of course the job is gonna even be harder. You're gonna be so frustrated.
It's gonna be dragging. The days gonna get longer. Like, oh, why am I here? You know what I'm saying? Like, why am I here? But at the same time, it's just, you choose how your day is gonna go.
Yeah.
You know, you're gonna choose if your day is gonna go good or bad. But that is, you're the captain of your own ship.
Facts. And also that when you're positive, you're even more productive. Because it's like you're not long like taking life like, I gotta do this, but like, you know, it's like you're wasting that time instead of, you know what, I gotta do this, so I'm gonna get it done. That way I can do this that I want to do, and I can invest on my time on this thing that I'm really, really passionate about. That's gonna help. You know, it's like having that excitement and like making your life exciting is so fundamental.
That makes everything easy.
Yeah, literally, I'm like literally every day. I'm always like, I'm happy. I'm excited. I'm like literally like, you know what? I'm in love with life. I'm romanticizing my own life because you know what? This is the one that I have.
Exactly.
So if I don't romanticize it, then who will? You know.
Exactly. Nobody.
So I think that's like I'm so glad you brought that up because I feel like that's has been the foundation of this past like 4 months of life-changing moments of my life, because I feel like I'm becoming me, you know, because before my family, they're kind of like conservative in that sense. They're kind of like, why are you doing that? You know, they always say I'm naive because I dream so big. It's like, Victoria, be realistic. Like they always tell me, be realistic.
I hate that.
It's like, why? Like, I mean, I'm like, Mom, and then we have a conversation, and eventually like, okay, yeah, you're fine. But it's like they always say that just to make you like, you know, calm down, and then later on, you know, they do that again. It's like, why are you doing this? I'm going to like this roller coaster. Like every time I'm high, you're like, no, this is not. And, you know, you go down so low that you're like, hey man, and it takes you so long it takes you so much force to get back there. Think about it. It's like if they were as encouraging as you know, you need that person to be, or because at the same time it's like your family. It's just your family is just your life, you know, in a sense, because they are the one that created you, and in the sense of like the person that you are today. You know, they built the foundation of the person that you are, and then you basically took that and amplified and then made it even, you know, more personalized, basically.
Because it's hard to maneuver when you don't have the support from your family. I mean, you grew from your family, you grow around your family. A lot of people be like, you know, your family, you know, you don't always gotta, you know, you don't need your family. Essentially, I don't know if I agree with that. Due to support, you know what I'm saying? You always gonna have that support. You always gonna have. I don't know what I would do without my mother. You know what I'm saying? No matter how much me and my mom would go at it, I always know at the end of the day, my mom is gonna be there regardless, and she always gonna end up supporting me at the end of the day because she wants what's best for me and wants me to be happy. Right. Yeah. So I could definitely see that, but I know it's just a lot of people. I know. It was a quote that stuck out for me from Nipsey Hussle. I remember he was talking about, he said, you don't define family by blood, you define it by loyalty. That's something I love by as well too. You know, you do have those toxic family members sometimes. You do have those people who are degrading, who just aren't there for you, and some people just aren't meant for you. And that's just life. You know, some people come across that, but you do have those who are loyal to you, who you call your family. You know, for example, you know, like some of my pledge brothers, for example. One of my closest buddies, Mike Quell. Quell is literally like my brother. You know, I call him blood because he's showed nothing but loyalty to me. I will call him family. So it's just things like that I always try to keep on my toes, but I always try to remember in my mind, you know, like, just remain positivity around you. Keep positivity around you, regardless of what it is. Even if somebody's bashing you, okay, it's all good. Wish them well, but you got stuff to do.
Exactly. Because again, you have the control to either leave them there and keep hurting you, or you can have the control to let them go. Because you have to also keep in mind that you go first, you know, and then everything else, and you know, family goes second, and then everything else. You know.
Speaking on that, like, it's just. That even goes back to like football, for example. Growing up, like I said, football was my first love, honestly. And anybody back home can even tell you. Even my mother. My mother and father, they wasn't really the most supportive when it came to like me. They were supportive of me of football, of course. Like they would come to my games and like be like, you know, great job and stuff. But when it came to like going to the pros, like my dreams and stuff, they would bring up, you know, statistics, because of course it's like very, like, it's very rare for people to make it to the NFL. It's like you got to be the chosen one, you know, and which is understandable. But it's like when you don't have that drive behind you, you know, it sucks. Like, speaking of that, it was on an assignment I did today in one of my law classes. we spoke on about in the discussion. Have you ever seen the TV show like Beyond Scared Straight?
No.
Basically Beyond Scared Straight is like this this TV series they used to host. I don't know if they're still hosting it, but they used to have juvenile offenders. They would usually come in, and their parents would send them on to this small camp, or like this sort of event sort of thing, and they would be in jail with other inmates, and the inmates would scare them, they would scare them and everything. And the thing is, statistically, that actually increased what the juvenile offenders were doing. They actually got them back into jail.
Oh,
like 28%.
No
actually,
way,
it was
that's
like a 28%
crazy.
increase
What?
of everybody who was even in there. It's like
Yeah.
a 20% increase of them even going back. So it was like, that was like, wow, because, you know, and I could really kind of reference that. Not saying I ain't never do nothing like that, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it's like, being degradeful, not motivating the next person, consistently bashing that person, it's like dehumanizing. That person is not going to gain anything from that. You know, bashing somebody down is not going to gain with that. Constructive criticism will help. You know, motivating somebody will help. Coaching somebody will help.
Positive psychology does. I feel like that's kind of the foundation of it too. Like of humans. Like you think about it. Every time you did something good, every time you they were like, good job. You know, you wanted to do more because it's like you want to that extra reward.
It pushes you forward. It makes you even more motivated. It's just the little things. Those words of affirmation can really take you longer than what really people understand. And like, that's why it's just the little things. That's why usually when I see people, if I got something to say, if you have a nice shirt, I'm gonna tell you have a nice shirt. You know what I'm saying? If you say a nice joke, I'm gonna laugh. You know, so it's like things like that. It's always good to making the next person better. I remember when I was riding in the car with one of my homeboys, and we was on the way. We went to Popeyes. Because they have an amazing chicken sandwich.
Oh yeah, I heard.
So basically, we was in a parking lot, and then I greeted the guy, usually like how I always greet, and he was like, "Man, he seemed so happy." Like he was like, but like the reason he seemed so happy is because how I ordered the food.
Yeah.
I was like, "Hey man, what's going on, boss?" You know, I would like 2 chicken sandwiches. You know, no pickles. You know. And he was like, "That'd be all, man." I was like, "Yeah, man, appreciate it." And he was like, "Oh, you know what I'm saying? Blase, dish." I told him like, "Thank you, King," or something like that.
Yeah.
I'm just a very positive person because I know if I exert that energy off somebody, they're gonna exert that energy.
Yeah. You don't know what they're going through too, and like you give them like another. So you know what? I had a great day today though. You know, like I can hold it a little bit longer.
Those little things matter so much because I can tell you how many times when a customer I would encounter, and they just say something positive about me or say like, I have great customer service or anything like that. And those little things is what keeps my day going. You know? So it's just the little things.
I know, facts. I had like this other person that I work with was like, you know what? She's amazing. She's so great. Like if people just tell me, wow, thank you. Because I always greet everybody. Because people just be like, hey, you know, like, have a wonderful day. Even like if I'm doing something, I see somebody walking, have a wonderful day. You know, because I'm like, I'll be doing homework during work. So I don't know. It's so funny. People like, thank you. They just like just hold the door and like look back.
Exactly.
Thank you.
Yeah, exactly. That's what it's about. Yo. Those things can really help a person's day. And you know, everybody is connected in some way. I believe. You know, everybody's energy is connected in some way. So how you maneuver, how you perceive certain things, everybody is going to be affected. If you come in, if a customer comes in and I'm not interested, and I'm just acting sluggish, he gonna act the same way. Most people are gonna act the same way. You know, you have some positive people, you know, but most people are usually gonna react to the energy that you give them. And then what benefit does that make? It doesn't make any benefit unless it's positive. Yeah,
because it's like, it's gonna bring the sales down, and like, it's gonna affect the business entity, and then it's gonna affect you ultimately to you. You know, that goes back to you. So yeah, I mean, it's just I agree because I'm always like so like, hey, thank you. You know, like if people just like they be giving me extra stuff, you know, just because of like they're like you're so nice here.
Exactly. That's it.
It's like you never like that stuff comes back to you. You
people
know, like,
always tell me I should be a waiter.
You will make a lot of money.
It's just so nice. Like, have you ever thought about waiting tables?
Yeah, you get tips like 100 to hundreds a night. That would be kind of nice.
I thought about it. I never went to the interview. I turned in my application though.
That's like me. Yeah, no, man. It's just it's just about that type of energy. Like when you share that, like I feel like anybody that comes around you can feel that, and then they unconsciously will want to amplify that too. Because like, you know what, I kind of feel good. I want to see if I can do that too, you know. And that's like the thing. It's like we impact people without even knowing, and that's the great thing about like just human, like because we learn for everything around it. Because I know my friend, like, what was it that I did? I was doing something, and basically she watched me. Like I do it differently than everybody else, and she did it like me. Like I saw her doing it, and I was like, wait a minute, this is how I do it. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Yeah.
But that's what you did. Basically, you influenced that.
Yeah.
And then like, I remember speaking of that, speaking of like people being around you. I know the other day, and it kind of made my day. One of my friends came in. I haven't spoken to him forever, and they was like, "Yo, I just want to let you know, like." When we was in a group chat too, he was like, Martell, I just want to let you know, like, being around you, being around your aura, like, it's peaceful. I want you to know, like, it feels good being around you. And I was like, wow. You know,
that's
So like stuff like that, that's the type of energy I want to perceive and give to people. You know what I'm saying? I want people to feel comfortable around me. I want people to feel as if they could be themselves. Because that's, you know, that's pulling you to your fullest potential. That's gonna allow me to help you and you to help me.
It's kind of like it's kind of like, what's it called? It's like a reminder of like, you're doing great, like keep going, you know. Because I mean, we are all based on feedback still, so basically that's just kind of like letting you know you're on the right path. So how I was saying, like, just like hearing your story and like seeing like your perspective of like your world and mine, and like how like kind of like aligns in a way. Because you were saying like, I kind of see some of myself there, and I was like, I feel flattered. I was like, wow, like you're great, you're amazing. Like I had this, you know, I was like, wow, like this guy is amazing, you know. And I was like, the fact that he sees some of that within me, that shows that I'm amazing too, you know. And it just kind of like reminded me. I was like, you know what, this is the type of moments I'm like, I do anything like for, basically, because that kind of makes me like, helps me sleep at night, in the sense of like, you know what, I'm getting closer to like that stage of my life, because that means I'm mentally growing, you know. So I don't know, I was just kind of like, wow, like this is something I'm gonna remember, you know, back, because again, like I think we're all gonna be so great because we have that passion and that drive, and that's all it takes, you know.
That's all it takes.
Yeah, so I can't wait, man. Like,
I can't wait either. You know, and it's not easy.
Yeah, yes, look, you know how many times I cry.
I don't care what anybody say. If you are a gentleman on this call, it's okay to cry. It's okay to
let it out.
It's okay to show your emotions and let it out. Because honestly, with me being a victim of mental health, I have been diagnosed before, and that was probably the most challenging thing I've ever had to witness and really had to understand. But me doing that, it got me into reading, got me doing all these other different things, and how it really got me to my fullest potential of showing me and who I truly am, you know. Because a lot of people, like we say, a lot of people undermine mental health. I used to think I didn't have nothing wrong with me until I went to a psychiatrist. Everybody should go to a psychiatrist, by the way. You know, not everybody. I mean, if you don't need, you need to, but it's always good to go, especially if you're curious, you know. And so, like I said, with me, you know, it really changed my life. And honestly, when I started figuring out what was wrong with me, it really pushed me into where I was going, because I just didn't know. I used to think, man, I'm just always in a sad mood. What is going on? Like, or like my attention span is like, I just can't focus, you know. So it's just those small things, but really, like, me from that stage and maneuvering businesses and everything, like, it's just so tough. Like, I figured out everything about me literally right before the pandemic. In 2019, in December, in September, that's when I figured out everything. And then going into the new year, that's when the pandemic happened, you know. Like I said, the BLM movement, and just like, it's a lot of frustrations, you know. You see a lot just as a male, and to me personally, as a black man and a black individual, I used to be scared. Every single day I would wake up, I'd be like, I might be the next victim, you know. I don't know what's coming next. It's scary, but living in fear is going to keep you from, you know, elevating in your own creativity or being positive, you know. And even if you have those mental health issues, if you have those disabilities, if you have those problems, you still have a future. You still have your dream, and you still can achieve that. It's nothing that can negate that, because you were put on this earth to fulfill your creativity at the full potential.
I'm sorry, it's just crazy that you said that, because on August of 2019 I got diagnosed with depression and anxiety, and I know
Me too.
Yeah, so
and ADHD.
So it's like, it's crazy to think, because after that I was like, you know what, it's not me anymore, it's this that's, you know, taking me, like putting me back. And basically that, you know, when the pandemic happened, I had to focus on myself, and I went through a lot, like, you know, a lot of bad things and stuff, but because of now that I knew, like, you know, this is gonna come back sometimes, you're gonna get sad because of your depression, it's not because of you, you know, in a sense. And it's like I have the power to, like, you know what, if I'm gonna be depressed, I'm gonna go outside more, I'm gonna be running. I started running during the pandemic. I ran so much, I got, you know, I feel more motivated to do more, because I'm like, I know that before it was that was pushing me back, but I'm not gonna let it longer control me.
Exactly.
Like, even the anxiety situation, like, it was so hard for me, because I used to overthink everything. Like, I was
overthinking.
Yeah, like, I'm getting good at it. Yeah. I be something like, what? Come on, get up. But yeah, no, it's like after that I was like, you know what? Let me reevaluate my thought. Like, why am I thinking that, you know, this is gonna happen, or this is like the situation? It's like, do I have evidence of that? You know, and it's like asking myself this type of questions make me realize that there was no real problem. It was all in my mind, you know. And it was sad. Like, it was kind of like sad in the sense of like, I feel like if I would have known this before, I would have, like, you know, kind of like
I already know what you're talking about.
And it's like I mean, again, like, it takes as little as like going there, you know, and figuring out, it's like, you know what, I've been feeling this type of things, you know, my distances. Let me just see, you know, for a person that specializes in that, to see like what they, you know, what might think, and then if that's the case, then good. If not, you know, at least I tried, because it's like, at least you're looking for help. Because at the same time, it's like, you seeking help, it's already like that's the first step, you know, because like that takes a lot. How you said, like, the stigma behind it is like going there, and like people might say like, oh, like, you're crazy or this stuff. It's like, no, I'm not crazy. I just want to understand myself better. I want to be better, because the only reason when you want to understand yourself is because it's like you want to be the version, your real self, you know. And that's, I mean, I think this is great, like, you know, because again, it's crazy, kind of like, I believe that the pandemic happened for a reason. Like,
most definitely, everything happens.
And it kind of like made, even for me, like, it got me to become more spiritual. You know, you're telling me, because before I was kind of like iffy about it, but you know, that the whole year I was just kind of like, let me see, you know, because I've been feeling so drawn by it. I was seeing like numbers everywhere. I felt like this sense of, I need to meditate, you know, I need to like be one with like the world.
Self-care is so vital, and that's what I was going to touch on. I remember that was one of the most inspiring things I heard from you. Like, when you was talking about, you said you were depressed. You were depressed, but what you did, you just got up, you started running. You started running, and you started feeling like, yeah, you know, this is what I like to do and everything. And you told me yourself, your sporting background, you know, and so with that, you know, that really brought you back to where you were.
That's true.
And even with that, even with psychiatry, even if it comes to therapy, you know, I've done my fair share of therapy as well. Even if you don't even have a disability or anything, I usually suggest everybody to go to therapy, because you always just need somebody to talk to. Maybe you just don't want to talk to that certain person or anything, or maybe you just don't feel comfortable. Some people don't like writing in their journal. Personally, I don't usually write in my journal as much as I used to. Usually I'm very targeted. What my self-care one of my self-care methods is, if I'm feeling down or feeling some type of way, I will get out my phone, pull out the voice memo, and I'll just talk about
I do that too. That's always on the podcast, because I would drive home, I would drive to work, and then I would just be, you know, sad. I'd be like, you know what, let's be honest, you know. So I'd be like, let's be honest, I feel this way and that, and I think life is this and that. And then eventually I was like, and then sometimes I would like go back and
I go back and listen to
what?
This
is what it was. And I was like, you know what, maybe I should start doing podcasts about like just how we all feel about like life and like what we're going through, because I know that I was working to do something great, but at the same time it's like I didn't like that. I was so sad. I was like, every time I go to work I was like, man, like, you know, I was trying to be positive, but everybody else hated it. And I'm like, damn, like, come on, let's try to be positive. And like, I literally we had a meeting. I was like, can we have a meeting so we talk about like positivity and stuff? And you know, they were like, this is BS. I mean, somebody was like, I've been working here 20 years. You can't tell me what to do. I'm like, I'm not telling you. I'm just saying like, let's all be like work as a team, you know. And they didn't like that. And I remember like going home. I was like, I'm just trying to help, you know. Because
but it's nothing wrong with doing that. And it's the fact that like I said, when it comes to understanding, not everybody's gonna understand the level you do. Not everybody's gonna pursue the way that you do, but that shouldn't disrupt how you perceive things and how you perceive to help other people. Because that can't stifle you from helping the next person, because God may send you to be the blessing for that person and vice versa, you know. And
that's true. I'm sorry. I'm just like, wow. No, I how you said, I see myself being, because like, wow, like you really.
Yeah, that was so ironic. Yeah, that is so ironic. Yeah, because I actually used to write in journals a good bit. But I got to the point where if I write, it's usually in my phone.
Because, the notes.
It's not even just because like I don't mind writing, but I'm such like a minimalist.
Yeah, me too.
So like I'm just like
make it easier, like quick and easy.
Like even say for instance, like I remember when I was in my dorm, I even put my little calendar up and everything, but I would probably mark it the first month, but I would never use it again. I would just put
empty over there.
Exactly. I would just write, and all I do is I just put it in my notes. Literally, when I wake up every single morning, I look at my agenda and I look at my calendar. And I'm like, okay, so this is easy, because I'm like, you know, it sucks that everybody is always tuned in on their phones, but why not make it the best that you can that can benefit from
you? Tool. It's a tool, and you can either use it to benefit you or, you know, kind of basically, you know, waste your time with it. I mean, it's like investment in a way.
It is. Because, like, I have a hard time with being a creator and being on my phone, because being on social media it can get draining. Yeah. But at the same time, it's like, my platform, what I do, I have to be on social media to post and do those sort of things. So I have to take those mental breaks and learn. I really have to like put stuff aside. I literally, like, sometimes I make a schedule on how long I'll be on Instagram, just because like I need to, you know, be able to focus on what I got going on and basically not get sidetracked, because I just know how the type of person I am, especially my attention span. You know what I'm saying? Like, I got ADHD, so it's just like, you know, I'm just like, all right, what's next? And I'm like, then even on my computer, like, that's how I know it's bad, because I will be on my computer. I'm sorry, I will be on my computer just editing, and then 9 o'clock will come. I have my timer tell me, it's like, it's 9 o'clock. I'll be like, it's 9 o'clock? yes. I'll be having my timer on my computer, because I'm like, I will get sidetracked and I would literally be stuck and just in the zone, and I'm just like, okay, I need to take a mental break.
Yeah. This is how when I go on that depth, I'm like, okay, this is it, you know? Because I actually did that too. Like, I tried to limit my, like, I was literally talking about this today. I was saying, you know, I was telling my friend, I was saying, like, I have to minimize my time on the social media so I can maximize my time experiencing life and, like, actually working on the things that I'm passionate about. Because it is, the media I use, okay, so I want to become an influencer, right? And the only reason I do want to become an influencer is because I want to impact people, and I also want to use that platform so I can get more people to involve in my nonprofit. And that's literally the whole reason. And I'm like, I know that I don't want to, like, go here, like, you know, spend too much time in here, but I know I have to, but also I have to make sure to always keep reminding myself that I can't be here for too long, because sometimes I spend like 6 hours and 9 hours on my phone, and I'm like, how? And then I'm here complaining, like, I can't study for my certification, I can do this and that, and I'm like, that's what I'm saying. Like, I said it for experience, like, really, your time, you make it. Like, if something is important to you, you have to make it. Because nowadays, I literally schedule everything from the time that I have to study, from 6 to something. From 6, okay, so I wake up at 6. So, like, 6:30, I go to the gym, get here at 7:45, and then I ate something, and then I sit down and, you know, do homework, post something real quick for, like, 2 minutes, and then, you know, go and work on something else. And it's like, you know, try to, like, literally keep track of my time. Because it's like, when you start doing that, subconsciously, your brain already does it for you. You don't even need the timer.
You don't need the timer.
Yeah, like that, your brain will stop, like, okay, it feels like about that something. Because I wake up at 6 on my alarm. And my body's just like, you know, we got this. Like,
exactly. That's what I'll be doing. My roommate hates that too. My roommate, he'll wake up at 11 to 12 o'clock. I wake up at 8 o'clock every single day without an alarm, and I'm just like, I'll be up cleaning or like in my room just doing anything, you know. And even with the social media thing, like, I noticed, like, when I was trying to monitor my screen time and everything, you know, I was like, I mean, it started getting better, but it hasn't. But what I've noticed is, I watched this documentary on Netflix called The Social Dilemma.
Yes, I watched it too. That's why I got more serious about it.
Because, like, they literally has these sort of programs where if you have your phone down on on the table and you're not even using it, they actually ping your phone with these certain apps if you're not even touching it. That's why usually if I'm gonna be off my phone, I put my phone face down and I just put it in my room and I just go. I'll probably go in the living room or something and just stay away from it, because those things are actually programmed. Because I mean, the U.S. we're built off capitalism, sad to say. So it's like people want that money. So it's like it's more important than your actual mental health, which actually sucks. But at the same time, you have to be aware of that and be able to control that, because social media, it is hard to, it's hard to not get sucked in. Everybody's on that.
Like they were saying, like, or some people's job is to design the app so it's addictive, and like they were saying too, like, the people that work, like, that work behind the social media, they don't let their kids have the media, or they limit the times for them, because it's like we understand the reality of it, so we're not gonna let our kids do that too. And it's like, it's just crazy the fact that they understand that and they're not doing anything to stop it too. But at the same time, it's like I feel like the thing about it too is like, I think the dilemma too is like, because like you either can like try to stop yourself from it, but sometimes you have to. It takes so much energy for you to to fight that urge, because it's like literally I get notifications out of nowhere. That's why I turn my
exactly. I turn my notifications off. Like, my phone stays on do not disturb. You're like, come on, I'll be calling you. I'm like, I know, I'm sorry. Like, and that, see, like, what I did for that is the only people I put in my favorites. I put in my favorites. I put in my mom, my roommate, and my close friends, and my twin. Those are the only people I really put in there, because I'm like, if they need something, they can call me. But if I don't pick up, they would know why. My phone stays on do not disturb. It's just. And I know, like, social media can be used in some positive manners. I feel like, especially over during the pandemic, social media was very, very useful. Especially when it came to the Black Lives Matter movement, like getting those protests out there and stuff, getting people connected and everything. Like, even I remember when they first posted about they were supposed to be doing the march on Washington in March. I was gonna go, but I didn't end up going due to COVID, and just some trip plans that didn't work out as well. But I heard it went out tremendously. I actually got a friend who went out there, and she said it was amazing. And it's just like the power behind social media. It's all been ingrained ever since before we even had the iPhone and everything. You see the power of it back in the 60s and the 70s. If you're going towards the civil rights movement, they used to make a whole sort of sermon about how the media is how you're gonna make an influence on anything. Say for instance, when you go back, MLK Day just passed recently. So, like, when MLK used to preach about it all the time, he would talk about all the time, like, say for instance, when they had marched on Selma in Alabama, they marched across Selma, and you see them getting beat. And getting beat. Him and Congressman John Lewis, RP. They were getting beat on media. And for that they needed to exploit that. It sucks that it had to get to that point, but the power of the media surpassed that and showed, wow, it's a problem going on. So segregation was canceled. So it's a lot that media can do positively, but it's definitely can destroy you at the same time.
Because it educates people. Like, I didn't know a lot about, like, just the history and see, and that because of everything going on, and we were like inside the house, like we had to kind of like not force, but we're like, what, this is, might as well do this, and it's like, it wasn't like, I kind of feel bad because I'm like, it wasn't like I might as well, like, we needed to know this, we needed to understand that this is what's going on even before that. Like, this is something that needs to be like put out there, and so everybody can see it. Because what if you don't have, like, because also that's the thing about the media, that it kind of you pick and choose, and it's like they put you in categories as well. Like, it's like you're conservative, then you're gonna have this type of information. You're a Republican, it's like it changes. Like, I mean, Democrat, it's gonna have different type of information. So it's kind of scary too, because like in a way, like, they're programming like what you consume. And that's why you have to kind of like, also when you're in the media, be like liberal in a sense of like always like try to understand every aspect of it, because like you never know what's not being shown to you, and what's out there for you to like learn. Because like when you when people were like, everybody, because it wasn't like now a few amount of people understand what the Black Lives Matter situation was. Now everybody knew it. Exactly. And because of that, like they put it in the news, and now even you know, double amount, and then even countries outside like understood what was going on. And again, how you said, like they used the media as a tool to amplify the problem and find a better solution, because now, like, after seeing also the thing that happened on January the 6th in the Capitol, now we, like, that was the confirmation that we needed, that this is still going on. How is this possible? You know, like, I was so mind blown by it. I was like, this is unfair. This is there's so many things. I was mad. I was furious.
If anybody else was to walk up those stairs, it would be a totally different.
Exactly. Like, you remember how it was? Like, there was peaceful protests, you know,
and they protests allowing them to come in there. I even saw a video of one of the protesters and even smoking weed right beside the officer. Yeah. Like, it was disgusting to me. Like, I was just it was distasteful. It was just bad, you know. But I definitely agree with you on that. And like, I know I've been trying recently, you know, because I've been really into music recently. And there's two things I want to touch on. I noticed that, like, even when we on media, say for instance, I'm looking at shoes on Instagram. I've noticed, like, 5 minutes later, if I'm scrolling across my story on Instagram, shoes pop up. Stuff like that. So I noticed that. And also, you know, when it comes to media just in general, you know, it's just this big blob to me, you know. And it's like everything is attached to, even the music you listen to. And that's what kind of hurts me. But at the same time, I noticed, like, I got a record player at home. I love my record player. But the thing I love the most about it is I don't have to access my phone to listen to music. I could literally put my phone down, put on the record player, and I could just clean up my room and do what I got to do. And then I could just tune out everything. I don't have to listen to nothing but the music. So it's like little things I try to do just to get myself off my phone. It's just, it really gets me through the day.
I have a question. Do you use your phone in the morning? Because I know that's something that I've been like having trouble with. Like, is it one of the first things that you do, or
the first thing I do, like I said earlier, first thing I do as soon as I wake up, I look at my agenda, look at my calendar. Okay, so then I put my phone down, and then I get ready for work and everything, and then I go to work. But yeah, usually that's the first thing I usually do, just because.
But you use it not in media. You use like the tools, like calendar.
Exactly.
Okay, that's good.
And even if I'm using media, it's for my business. I'm not gonna be sucked on my phone, looking at TikTok for about 2 hours.
It's like, what are we gonna get from here?
Exactly.
You know? It's like you might get something, like one great tip, but everything else, like, what was all that time that you kind of like didn't. You know, it's just there. Because it's like, I was thinking, like, the other day, I was like, I feel like at this point, our attention is monetized. Think about it. Like, because the more people are trying to, like, they're investing, like how you said before, capitalize, like, or, like, basically the media to the point that they use to make money. If you're a person that has a lot of followers and stuff, basically they're gonna like try to get people to go to you and then buy you out by selling the things that they want for you, you know. And it's like, that's also kind of like scary too, because like, you know, this person created this great foundation of like, hey, like, this is truly who I am, and this is my foundation, like, this is my morals and stuff, and this is what I want to do. But it's like, because of like what they wanted to do to benefit themselves, they take that away, you know. And I don't know, it's just crazy, because I was thinking about the other day, I had this I was following this person, and she was so cool, and then she started doing like selling these things, and I was like, I feel like it wasn't her anymore, you know. And I was like, damn, like, it's happening everywhere, you know, because like it wasn't somebody that was that famous, but now it's, you know, that's basically everything about it. So, you know, her thing of being positive has gone away. It's like it decreases. So I don't know, it's just weird, because I'm like, I just find it so crazy how like it happens so often, and like, it's happening, you know, constantly.
Especially when you start to understand and be conscious of where you are in your state of mind, you just be like, you know, man, it's wild, you know, and it's sad at the same time, you know. But like, that's where it comes to the understanding, like, but not everybody's gonna understand. You know, not everybody probably is gonna get that trigger, be like, man, you know, maybe I should think this way, maybe I should do things differently. People are just usually sucked in, and sadly, a lot of people don't even want to get out of it.
Like they're so comfortable. I mean, it's to break a habit, it literally takes mental and like physical strength. You know, you have to kind of fight that urge. It's like a drug, you know. It is a drug. It is like an addiction. It is an addiction at this point. Like it just becomes social big like part of our life, and we think that it has to be like that. Like, you know, that's how we socialize with our friends. That's how we, you know, do this and stuff. It's like, you can call that person, you know, and like for business it's different, but like for everything else it's like you don't need to be like constantly on that, you know, because I know for me at this point I've been getting on social media just so I can like, you know, impact people, because I've been getting a lot of people like, hey, like your contact really helped me get up to, you know, this morning. So it's just stuff like that, because it's like I noticed that there's people that are sucked in, and because of what I'm doing, they're getting out of it instead of like getting more deep into it.
That's good. It's good getting those affirmations and getting that feedback from people. It's like we were talking about earlier. That's what keeps us going. You know, especially for your premise. You know, you really want to help people. That's your thing, and hearing that, that's nothing. There's nothing better than that. You know?
I appreciate that.
No doubt.
Yeah, but. Well, again, thank you for being here. This is gonna be it for it. But guys, I'm gonna have him back in the future, so just already know he's gonna have his podcast is gonna be coming out on February. So stay tuned. I'll put all the information below, and then you guys can, you know, just see the greatness. Okay, it's amazing. Thank you.
All right, thank you for having me. Have a great time, guys. Be safe. God bless and protect your energy.